Grab any yarn of your choice with the recommended hook size, a measuring tape, a scissors, and a darning needle. Let's get started for our tutorial today. We are going to be making a mesh skirt. It is very easy and a beginner friendly tutorial. So let's jump right into it. I am using Yeye yarn. It's a lightweight yarn, so I'll be doubling my strands. The only measurement we need for this project is our hip measurement. So you go ahead and take your hip measurement. That's what we'll be working with. So we'll start by doing a slip knot. Then you make a chain that corresponds to your hip measurement. To make a chain stitch, send your hook underneath your yarn, grab the yarn and pull through the loop. I'm working with a hip measurement of 37, so I'll just go ahead and make enough chains to measure 37 inches. You go ahead and make enough chain that will measure up to your hips measurement, and then we'll continue from there. When measuring, stretch your yarn a little bit because yarn has a tendency to stretch. So to make it fitting, you have to stretch it while taking the measurement. So this is my chain. What I'm going to do is straighten it out to make sure that it is not wrapped. Then I'll go ahead and make a slip stitch to join it into a loop. So to make a slip stitch, just insert into the very first chain and then you pull up a loop, pull through the second, and then we'll go ahead and chain 4 to start our row. 4 is double crochet plus chain 1. So we are going to skip the very first stitch, and into the second stitch we are going to insert a double crochet. So to do a double crochet, you yarn over your thread, insert into the stitch, pull up a loop, you pull through 2 loops and pull through the remaining 2 loops. Then go ahead and chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and into the next stitch you place a double crochet. So for this project, we won't be doing any increase or decreases. So this is a pattern. You chain 1, skip 1 chain, and into the second chain you make a double crochet. Chain 1 again, skip 1 stitch, and into the next stitch you make a double crochet. So you keep working like that, and I will meet you at the end of the round. You just chain 1, skip 1 double crochet into the next chain. I have reached the end, almost at the end of my row. So I'm going to put another double crochet stitch there, such that I'll be left with just 1 stitch, but I won't work in that stitch. I'll just chain 1, and then I'll slip stitch into the 4 that we crocheted at the beginning of the row. I'll count the 3rd stitch. That's where I'll place my slip stitch. So I'll insert, pull up a loop, pull through it, and pull through the second one. So this is how our mesh pattern will be looking like. So we are going to chain 4 again. We turn our work. We skip now the very first stitch, and into the second stitch we place a double crochet. And if you notice, when you skip a stitch to place a double crochet, it will be directly on the previous double crochet chain that you crocheted. So your double crochets are placed directly on the previous double crochet. So that's how we'll continue placing double crochets on top of our previous double crochets till we meet at the end of the row. I am almost at the end of my row, so I'm doing my last double crochet there, which after that I'll be left with just one stitch. I won't walk into that. I'll just chain one, I skip that one stitch, and I do a slip stitch into the 4 we chained at the beginning of the row, but I'm inserting into the 3rd stitch so that one will be left as the normal pattern. We skip one. So that's how my second row is looking. I'll go ahead and chain 4, turn my work, so I'll skip the 1st stitch, and into the next I'm going to place a double crochet, and just like for the previous rows, we are repeating the same pattern. We insert, we make a double crochet, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and our next stitch will be on our previous double crochet. And that's how we are going to continue working our pattern so you have the length that you want. I am almost at the end of my 3rd row, so I have one more double crochet stitch to work there. So I'll make my double crochet, I'll chain 1. I won't be working into the last stitch as I'll be skipping it to make a slip stitch into our beginning chain, the 4 we chained at the beginning. So we'll do our slip stitch, we chain 4 as usual, and turn our work. Go ahead and do as many rows as you want that will correspond to the length of your skirt, and I'll meet you at the end. So I did 32 rows, which corresponded to 15 inches. So this is my last row. I'm just going to do a slip stitch to end that row. After doing my slip stitch, I'm just going to chain 1, and then I cut off my yarn. We are just going to do a drawstring for the waist of our skirt. So we are going to go ahead to do enough chains. I'll do about 250 chain stitches. That will be okay for the skirt I'm doing. If you are doing for a larger size, you might want to increase to 300. I'll be using a darning needle to pin in my strap. I'll be passing it through every stitch, every double crochet stitch I make, to make a perfect drawstring. Okay, so I'm right where I started. So I've successfully inserted my strap into my waistband. Yeah, there we go. As you can see, it's a perfect drawstring. You can pull and adjust to the size you want. Please leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.